Have you ever heard the saying that nothing happens in the real estate market until after the Super Bowl? We're going to run through the numbers for the first half of February before the Super Bowl. What did you think of 2023 in the Southern California housing market? Well, let me give you a hint. 2024 is looking to be a lot like the same thing. Hey there. Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates. We've been helping the smartest buyers and sellers make the best data-driven decisions in this crazy market. And it's time for the Southern California Housing Market Report. So let's dive into the data looking at single-family homes, condos, and townhomes throughout Southern California. We're going to look at number of closed sales, but even more importantly, I want to look at new listings, that's inventory, and I want to look at pending sales, that's demand, and I want to see how those compare. And unfortunately, what we're seeing in the first 2 weeks of February is that it's not too different than it was last year at this time. So we could end up having another 2023 on our hands in 2024 unless we start to see some dramatic changes. So first things first, Orange County does have a slight increase in the number of pending sales and a slight decrease in the number of new listings. So actually, this is the tightest it's been at this time of year between new listings and pending sales. So if you're out there looking, it is going to be tight inventory in Orange County, but not every county looks exactly like this. We're going to see some differences. Los Angeles, what do you notice immediately? We are down from a demand standpoint. So this is new record low demand, definitely lower than any other point in time, including last year. So even with slightly better mortgage interest rates and maybe slightly more optimism, maybe fewer people worried about a recession. I don't know. Put your comments below. Were you more worried about a recession in 2023, or are you more worried now? But you can see, so there's a slight uptick in the number of new listings as well year over year. We're nowhere near the levels 2018, where it was double just about the number of listings we have now. But these numbers aren't encouraging for sellers when we're seeing that the number of pending sales are going down. And Riverside, we see an increase year over year in pending sales, up ever so slightly. That's a positive direction at least. New listings are up a little bit more. It's about 100 more new listings in Riverside right now. We can see that back in 2021, it was crazy between the number of new listings and pending sales, very tight, like we're seeing in Orange County right now. But this is not alarming. It just means it looks like it's going to be a whole lot like 2023 unless something changes in the market. And we can see that pending sales are down and a slight increase in number of new listings. Not a crazy gap between these two, nowhere near where it was in 2018. But if inventory keeps going up and demand keeps going down, that's where we could start to see big price decreases. Of course, Ventura always marching to its own drummer, down slightly with number of new listings, but down in demand. Their demand has continued to drop year over year in Ventura as affordability has been crunched. In San Diego, we can see that uptick in year over year number of properties going under contract, the demand, and slight uptick in the number of new listings. So it looks a whole lot like 2023 in the single family market for 2024. What are you seeing out there? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, we can't give tax or legal advice, but for the most honest and up-to-date real estate advice, please subscribe to this channel. Diving into multifamily, one of the only places you're going to get these numbers. Important to look at what's going on for investment properties. This is everything 2 units and larger on the multiple listing service. And what do you see here in Orange County? A big increase in the number of new listings. So these new listing numbers are similar to more normal years when we look at number of listings, and we can see that about half, slightly more than half, have gone under contract in the first 2 weeks of February. And you could see it's all over the board. So it's actually higher than normal years of 2018 and 2019 for the number of properties going under contract. If we continue to see inventory go up and pending sales to stay flat, we're going to get inventory increases in Orange County. And LA multi-family market increase year over year. So despite it, rent stabilization ordinance properties just had their first rent increase as of the 1st of February for LA City in just about 4 years, 4% monthly rental rate increase is the maximum. So maybe that's leading to the year-over-year change, because last year they couldn't do any increase at all. But we can see that it's up slightly in inventory and demand in LA multifamily. Riverside, we've got an equal number of new listings and pending sales. The new listings are down, other than last year where they were down. This is not a typical number of new listings. And demand is actually, other than crazy year of 2021, demand is actually pretty good for Riverside multifamily. So as we've talked about, it's tougher in this interest rate environment for properties to cash flow because of the fact that interest rates are so high, and they're eating, that debt service is eating into the basically the income for the property. Despite that, we're seeing a relatively strong market for multifamily so far. San Bernardino, we can see a number of pending sales year over year and a slight uptick year over year. So in San Bernardino, 2023, this time of year is looking exactly like 2024. That's quite a bit of inventory for Ventura. So 5 new listings, other than 2020 where it went through the roof. And only one went under contract. And we've continued to see that the number of properties going under contract have remained incredibly low in Ventura multifamily. So we are definitely going to see inventory continue to grow. And you're going to have to be extremely well priced or have something compelling about your property to trade in Ventura for multifamily. In San Diego, we can see this year looks a lot like last year. So not too different. So that trend we're noticing in single family and some multifamily, 2024 is shaking out to be a whole lot like 2023. If you're digging our data, don't forget we're real estate agents based in Southern California. Don't even think about making a move before you reach out to us. It wouldn't be a Southern California housing market report if I didn't at least take a quick look at Altos Research data. So here we are looking at national data, and you know you can subscribe to these reports. I've mentioned it every single video I've ever made with Altos Research data in it. I encourage you to sign up, and then as a bonus you'll get our free weekly email newsletter. But days on market, I want to take a look at this. Why do I care? If days on market starts to go up when it's supposed to be going down this time of year, that could lead to big price changes, particularly big drops. So if it's taking longer to sell a property, will then drop the price or be pulled off the market. So we can see here that at a national level, the national average is 70 days on market. So that's a long time relatively, especially when you look back here in this busy times where in May of 2022 nationally it was taking 21 days. Now in fairness, these dots are year over year, and that's what you really need to compare is year over year. You don't compare peaks to valleys and valleys to peaks unless they happen to be the same point in time year over year. Then you get an accurate look at things. So we can see in this trend, you'll see generally when we run through the rest of the numbers, that this year we are moving properties faster than last year at this time. In fact, all cases 2022 was faster. In some cases, depending on where you are, 2021 was faster or slower, and then everything is still moving faster than it was in February 2020, which was kind of the cusp of a normal market. We were starting to see a little bit of the effect of COVID in the market at February of 2020. March, obviously, and April, it hit hard, but we were starting to see a change in February. So anyway, that's what we can see at the national level. So that was a national level. Now comparing the state of California. So 56 days, so faster right now in the state of California on average. And again, faster than last year. You can see that it is not faster than 2021, and it's actually not too far off of where it was in 2020. So at the statewide level, things are moving pretty close to where they were moving February 2020. So let's look and see if any counties are moving faster. And OC is definitely moving much faster than it was last year at this point in time, and actually is tied with 2021 and faster than 2020. The other important thing to be watching is what happens to the days on market trend. So as you're in the holidays, it takes longer to sell. That's typical, and you see that trend in all of these. And then it drops as we get into the spring busy buying selling season. So we're gonna have to see if this trend continues down and then where it turns and starts to go back up. LA, 56 days on average, go back all the way to 2021 and it was the same, but 2020 and 2021 weren't too far off of each other. Riverside looking at 49 days on market on average, definitely faster than last year, but have to go back to somewhere in 2020 to get to a similar number of days on market. 2021 and 2022, things were flying off the shelf in Riverside. San Bernardino looks to be at 70 days, which is about the the longest in Southern California right now. Faster than last year, but not by much. And then going back all the way to February 2020, it matches it. So similar days on market. Ventura, despite what we saw in the numbers, only 35 days on market, and definitely better than where it was in February of 2020, and pretty darn close to where it was in 2021 at this point in time. But don't forget, Ventura is always doing its own thing. And lovely San Diego, 35 days on market, moving things along quickly. You can see in February of 2020, 56. So it was a couple weeks more. So definitely moving along quickly here in San Diego. Hit that like button if you learned something new in this one. And the next thing you need to know is in this video right here. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we can't wait to hear from you.